So inhaling deeply through the nose and a sigh out through the mouth. We'll do that 2 more times, and each time use the exhale just to release anything that's holding at the moment. So inhaling through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and then 1 more time, deep, full inhale through the mouth, through the nose, and exhale out through the mouth. Carol, we're starting lying on our backs with the option to have a support under the sacrum. And then close the lips and just take a moment to connect in, scan the body. Just allowing your awareness to flow around the body, noticing how you're feeling today. Being aware of all of the sensations that are coming up. The physical sensations also. Anything that's coming up in the mind, your general mood this afternoon, energy levels, and just be a witness to whatever's there for you. There's no need to judge or try to change anything. Simply be aware. And then moving your attention onto your breath. Start to just follow each inhale and each exhale. And then we'll take a few really full breaths, so full yogic breathing, inhaling, expanding the chest, the belly, the back, exhaling, squeezing the breath out. 3 or 4 more breaths like that, inhaling, exhaling. Continue like this, just expanding and lengthening the inhale and making the exhale quite active. The belly drawing in, squeezing the breath out. Couple more breaths. And let go of this breath. And find a nice, easy breath that we'll use through the practice today. Nothing too forced, too controlled. And we'll bring the right knee in towards the chest and interlace your fingers around the right shin. And squeeze it in. And the option is either to keep your left foot on the mat like bridge pose, or you can extend that left leg long and kick out through the left heel. So you're kicking out through the left heel, squeezing the right leg in towards the torso. And maybe a few ankle rolls here through the right ankle in both directions. So if you're on the block, if the block is under the sacrum, then you feel this really nice opening down the front of the left thigh. And then release the right foot down, and we'll just switch sides. So drawing the left knee in, fingers interlaced around the shin, Squeeze that in towards the torso. Option to extend the right leg long, kicking the heel away from you, and maybe taking a few ankle rolls with the left ankle. And get some movement through the toes as well when you're working the ankle. Couple more breaths here. And then we're going to take this lazy starfish if you're on the block, so just extending both legs long. If you're lying on your backs, then Shavasana, arms by your sides wherever you are, palms turn up. And we'll take a few big breaths here. And then bringing the feet back in, knees bent. If you're on your block, gently push into the feet, lift the hips, remove the block to one side. And then gently sway the knees from side to side. And the feet are quite wide. We're going to come into a very open twist. So keep your feet towards the edges of the mat. Drop your knees over to the left. Push the right hip forward, and the option is to bring the left foot onto the right thigh. Again, opening through the hip flexor, through the front of the right hip. You can rest your left hand on the belly, right arm out to the side. Couple of breaths here. Release the left foot if it's on the thigh. Draw the knees back to center and switch sides, so the knees falling over to your right. Keep the feet flexed. Nudge the left hip forward. Option to bring the right heel onto the left thigh. Relax the face, the tongue, the jaw. 2 more breaths. And then release the right foot down if it was hooked. Both feet on the mat. Knees come back to center. Some little sways from side to side. And then draw the knees in towards the chest. We'll rock up to sit. Or use your hands, whatever's best for you. And come forward into child's pose. Big toes touch. Knees come wide. Either extend the arms forward, or you might drape the arms around by the side, whatever is more comfortable. And or let the head rest, or you can rest your head on the mat, your hands, or a prop. And take 5 full breaths here. And visualize the breath is running from the crown of the head to the tailbone, from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And getting that nice expansion through the back of the body. 3 more breaths. And then coming up to all fours, spread the fingers wide. And we'll move through a few rounds of cat and cow. On your inhale, take the gaze up, lengthen the spine. On the exhale, tug the tailbone down, round the back. The chin tucks in, push the mat away. Quite active here. Inhale, you look up, lengthen. Exhale to round. Keep moving with your own breath. You can take it a little bit free form if you like. Couple more breaths. And then gently come to stillness. Tuck the toes. Push into your hands. Lift the sit bones up and back. Downward facing dog. You're welcome to stay on all fours or push back to child's pose. Wherever you are, make any adjustments that feel good. If you feel like moving through a vinyasa, go ahead. You've got a few breaths here. And then as you're ready, look forwards and step the feet to the hands at the top of the mat. Just a slow walk to the top of the mat. Take the feet at least hip width and fold forwards. Let the head go. Either bringing hands to opposite elbows or interlace your fingers around the back of the neck. Elbows hang down and let the weight of the arms and the hands pull down on the head. You get this nice traction and release through the back of the neck and the shoulders. The knees are quite bent. Take a couple of breaths here. Release the hands down. Bring your hands onto your hips. On an inhale, rise up with a flat back. On your next inhale, reach the hands high to the sky. Reach up, big stretch. Exhale, hands in prayer. And close the eyes. Feel connection between your feet and the earth. Feel the symmetry through the body, so feel balanced here, equal weight through both of the feet. Release the hands down by the side of the body, and then feel the openness through the chest, the whole of the torso, and a lift up through the top of the head. On your next inhale, reach up, look up, big stretch. Exhale, draw the prayer down the center line and forward fold. Bend the knees quite deeply. Halfway lift on an inhale, hands on the shins, long spine. Exhale to fold in. Bring your feet to the edges of the mat. We're going to come into a squat, so feel free to use a block or a pillow or a bolster. I'm going to today. The knees are wide, the elbows push into the knees, and the thumbs draw into the chest. Relax the shoulders. And the option to bring the chin down to the chest for neck release. And we'll hold it here for 5 breaths. If you're not using a prop, try not just to hang out, or even if you are on a prop, there's still this lifting up. There's a purpose here and a strong push into the thighs. Feel the opening through the inner thighs and the groin. One more breath. Release the hands down, lift the hips up, parallel the feet, and step your right foot back, coming into a runner's lunge. The back knee comes down, sink the hips down. You're either on your hands or your forearms, or maybe using a block. We'll get this opening through the hips and compression through the left hip and the groin. And breathe into it. Breathe into any resistance. To move this more deeply into the front of the right thigh, there's the option to bend the right knee and draw that right heel towards the buttocks. And then you might want to reach around with the left hand and grab the right foot. Sometimes that's quite easy, sometimes it's not quite so accessible. But again, a block gives you an extra long arm that makes it a little bit more easy. Couple more breaths here. In this quad stretch, if it feels nice to kind of pulse in and out, go ahead. And then release the back foot if you have it. Bring both hands down onto your mat or your prop. Push back to half splits, hips over the back knee. Wriggle the left heel forward and point the toes up towards the ceiling. Bend the left knee any amount. Use your prop at any height. And what we want is that stretch in the back of the left thigh. And then breathe. Continuing to lengthen the spine. So feel the length from your tailbone to the top of the head, through the side waist. So that left hip might be kind of crunched up. Push that hip back and down. And then there's the option here to gently dial your left toes out towards the left and just notice how that changes the stretch through your hamstring. Couple more breaths. And then toes turn back towards the ceiling. Bend the left knee, plant the foot. And there's a couple of choices here. We'll either step straight forward to a forward fold at the top of the mat. If you want to go through a vinyasa, go ahead, and we'll all meet at the top of the mat. It's your choice. When you're forward fold, you might take that interlace around the back of the neck, ragdoll arms, or perhaps chest expansion. Couple more breaths here. And then bringing the hands down to the mat if they're not there already. Inhale for a halfway lift, lengthen, neutralize the spine. Exhale, release the hands down. We'll step the left foot back, coming into that runner's lunge. So the hands are inside the right foot's out to the side a little bit. Use any props that you need. So if you do feel a little bit awkward, if in doubt, just use a prop. It's not cheating, it just gives you more space, more stability, and lets you get into the pose. Keep sinking the hips down, finding that length through the spine, breathing into the stretch. When we're holding these stretches, when the mind starts to think about that gin and tonic or Indian takeaway or whatever it might be, that will come, but draw the attention back to what you're doing at the moment, this stretch, these sensations, this breath. Couple more breaths here. Option then to bend the left knee and take that quad stretch. The left foot is flexed. You can feel that already just with the lift of the left heel. You might be able to bring the right hand around and grab on. And again, if it feels nice to add a little bit of movement here, go ahead. Couple more breaths here. Release the grip. Both hands come down, push back to your hamstring stretch. Ardha Hanumanasana. Toes point up towards the ceiling. Always toes point up. If you need to release, you bend the knee rather than point the foot. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, hinging forward any amount. Breathing into the stretch. With the option again to dial your toes out to the side. And that can be a static hold or maybe just gently fanning the toes over and back. And take 2 more breaths here. And then coming back into your lunge, take the hands down and either step back to all fours and we'll move through some cat and cow, or you can move through your vinyasa. Your choice. Go through your vinyasa with your own breath or just a few rounds of cow and cat. And then we'll meet on all fours and extend your right leg behind, pushing the toe mound into the mat. And then we're going to take the right foot over to the left side of the mat. So it's crisscrossing and it's off of the left side of the mat. It's kind of a plank leg. So you're on the toe mound of the right foot. Lengthen the sideways, draw the heart through, and then turn to look over your left shoulder at the right foot. And you'll get this stretch down the right side. And feel free to crunch into the left waist as much as you like. 2 more breaths here. And we're going to crisscross the right knee behind the left knee, squeezing the thighs together. And the feet come towards the edges of the mat. So the tops of the feet are down. And start to push the hips back for the IT band stretch. This band down the outside of the thighs. Push the hips back any amount. Drop the chin to the chest. Take 2 breaths here. Rock forward, coming back up onto your hands. Uncross the legs. We'll switch to the other side so the left foot extends. Then cross your left foot to the right side of the mat. Lengthen the side waist. Then gaze over towards your left foot. And take 2 more breaths. Crisscross left knee behind the right knee. Squeeze the thighs together. Take the tops of the feet wide. Start to sink the hips back. You're really kind of pushing your sit bones back. Any amount. You might not need to go that far. Again, if you need to use your blocks, go ahead. 2 more breaths. Gently come back onto your hands, shoulders over the wrists, unravel the legs. One round of cow and cat to clear. Inhaling to cow. Exhale to round. Come back to your neutral spine. Tuck the toes. Push back to downward facing dog. And now your choice. You can stay here, drop down to child's pose, or move through a vinyasa. If you're moving through the vinyasa, let the breath guide you. One breath, one movement, steady transitions, pausing at the top and the bottom of the breath. And then when everybody's ready, we're going to make our way onto our backs, however you like to go. And have your props nearby. We'll take a supported bridge again, so the feet are hip width and parallel. Take your pillow or block or a bolster, lift the hips up, slide your prop underneath. Whatever height you want to work at, when I use a block, I quite like to start on the highest setting, take a few breaths here, then gradually lower the setting. So up to you. That's what I'm going to do today. So find that comfortable place. Your prop should be on the sacrum. Shouldn't feel like it's digging in. You shouldn't feel like you have to cling on unless you're going to fall over. So make those adjustments that allows you to stabilize here. And you really want the weight to be through the sacrum, through the block. So when you get to that supported place, close the eyes, deepen the breath. And then when we're hanging out like this, if you're there and you're kind of thinking, oh, this doesn't feel good or I need to adjust, then make those adjustments. Do whatever you need to do that allows you to be in a still place. And when the body is still, then the mind can start to settle. Now, if you have the ability to move your prop onto a slightly lower setting, I'm going to move my block onto the middle setting, reposition it, and settle back in. Wherever your arms and hands have chosen to go, that's absolutely fine. Be with whatever's coming up for you, the physical sensations, the breath, maybe the thoughts that are bubbling up in the head. I'm going to adjust my block down to the lowest setting. Wherever you are, just taking 3 more full breaths. And then an easy, gentle push into the feet. Lift the hips up, slide your prop away. And then with control, slowly lower the spine down. And let the back settle. Bring one hand onto the lower belly, one hand to rest on the heart. Notice how that feels through the back. Then we're going to take Supta Baddha Konasana, and the option is to use a support again. And the support this time would come below the shoulder blades. So we've done this quite a few times. I'm going to use my rolled up blanket. I do have to come up to sit, position the blanket hopefully in the right place on the mat, and then lie back down. So we want this really nice heart opener. And you can use just a small towel rolled up. Sometimes you can use your mat rolled up, a block if that's really comfy. But have a good wriggle around. Get comfortable here. So it needs to be under the shoulder blades, opening up the chest. And then the soles of the feet together and the knees fall wide out to the sides. And then let the arms go where they want to go. Feel supported here, the outside edges of your feet, your sacrum and the lower back and the buttocks. If this is really intense on the inner thighs and the groin, then you can use props under the thighs just to give a little bit of support there. So come out of that real discomfort zone. You feel comfortable and supported in the lower half of the body, the lower back, no pinching or crunching into the lower back. Completely supported in the middle and upper back by your prop. The arms resting wherever they naturally fell. The back of the head is supported. Absolutely no tension through the physical body. And then this huge opening through the front of the body, from your pubic bone to the collarbones, and obviously through the inner thighs. And allow your attention to be with the breath, moving up and down the front of the body, breathing in through the nose, and then feel the expansion through the chest, the belly down to the pubic bone, and then all the way back out. So we'll stay here for 3 to 5 more breaths. Two more breaths in this position. Carefully bring the knees, you might use your hands to draw the legs together. Roll onto one side. Remove your prop away. And then roll back onto your back. And we're going to set up for Shavasana. So hopefully you can just roll back throw your blanket over you and settle in. Just minimal disruption. Eyes closed. So come to lie comfortably. Taking time to arrange yourself. Removing any jewelry, glasses, watches, anything that might disturb you. Coming into the pose of Shavasana, the legs are extended long unless there's any discomfort in the lower back, in which case keep the knees bent or even lie on your side. The feet will naturally fall out to the sides, and that will gently open the hips. If the knees are bent, then try and knock them together so they're resting on each other, no tension through the hips. And make any adjustments that you need through the lower back, the pelvis, the buttocks. Draw the shoulder blades under the back. Feel that openness again through the front of the body. The arms by the sides, a small distance between the arms and the side of the body, and the palms turn up. This real symbol of surrender, allowing the body to let go, but also palms turn up gives this symbol of allowing yourself to be open to receive. The back of the head on the mat, the chin is a little bit tucked. Your face, a little bit of a wriggle, let go of any tension that's holding there. Make any final adjustments, movements, and then come to stillness. Allow the body to settle. Feel the body lying on the floor. Feel the contact between the body and the floor, all the different points of contact. Run your attention down to your heels. Mentally connect in with the heels. Feel that connection between the heels and the floor. Your calves, backs of the thighs, the buttocks, the lower back, the middle back and the upper back, the shoulder blades. The attention runs down the arms to the backs of the hands. Feel the arms lying on the floor, and then to the back of the head. The whole body is supported by the earth, no physical effort. Be aware of this line of contact between the body and the floor. A subtle line of contact between the body and the floor. Start to become aware of any activity going on around you. Bring your awareness to your hearing. Send the hearing out into the far distance and scan the environment, picking up any sounds that you can hear in the far distance. Move from one sound to another and on to another. Now listening for any sounds within the building. Scan the building, moving the attention from one sound to another. There's no need to name or judge the sounds. Just listen to the sounds for their own sake. And now listening to any sounds within the room that you're in. Even if there's only a couple of sounds, allow your attention to shift from one sound to the next and then back again. And closer still, any sounds from your own body. Subtle sounds, the sounds of your breath, digestion, anything coming from your own body. Now leave the sense of hearing and become aware of the sense of touch. Become aware of the skin over the whole of the body, experiencing different sensations of touch. And clothes and covers, jewellery, hair, the air in the room against the skin. Move the attention around these different sensations. Take that awareness to the nostrils and feel the breath gently moving in and out through the nostrils. Observe the breath. Observe the process of breathing. And then take the awareness to the space in front of the closed eyes. And now is the time to plant the seed of the Sankalpa. If you're using this, repeat it 3 times with full awareness, faith and feeling. If you're new to Sankalpa, then be open and receptive to anything that comes to you. The Sankalpa is a seed of transformation that's planted in the deeper layers of the mind during Yoga Nidra. It's a direction in life that you wish to achieve, a positive statement, a desire for yourself. So be open to anything that comes to you. Now let go of the Sankalpa. We'll move on to the rotation of awareness around the body. We'll move around from the right to the left side and so on, and it will be quite swift, so just allow your awareness to move with my instructions. So bringing your attention to the right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, fourth finger, little finger, all 5 fingers, the palm of the right hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, top of the right shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, front of the right thigh, back of the thigh, kneecap, back of the knee, calf muscle, shin, ankle, heel, sole of the right foot, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, all 5 toes together. Come to the left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, fourth finger, little finger, palm of the left hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, top of the left shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, front of the left thigh, back of the thigh, kneecap, back of the knee, calf muscle, shin, ankle, heel, sole of the left foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, all 5 toes together. Come to the back of the body, bring your awareness to the right buttock, left buttock, lower back, middle back, upper back, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, back of the neck, back of the head, crown of the head, the whole of the scalp, forehead, right temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, the space between the eyebrows, right eyelids, left eyelids, the right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, the whole of the nose, top lip, bottom lip, both lips together, chin, top jaw, bottom jaw, teeth, tongue, the whole of the face, the whole of the head. Come to the front of the body, feel the throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, chest, ribs, stomach, navel, pelvis, groin, the whole of the abdomen. Now bring your awareness to whole body parts as I name them. Feel the whole of the right leg, whole of the right leg, whole of the left leg, whole of the left leg, whole of the right arm, whole of the right arm, whole of the left arm, whole of the left arm, the whole of the back of the body, the whole of the front of the body, the whole of the torso, the whole of the head, neck and face, the whole body lying on the floor, the whole body. Feel the whole body. In one glimpse, experience the whole of the body lying on the floor. Check that you're aware and awake, practicing Yoga Nidra. And start to notice the stillness of the body. And then notice the breath in the body and the gentle movement that the breath creates, this natural movement of the body with the breath. Spontaneous movement of the body with the breath. There's no need to change it. Allow the body to breathe. Following the natural cycle of breath, the rhythm. And we'll start our breath awareness practice, counting with the breath, counting backwards from 31 with the breath and the movement of the belly. So on your inhale, the belly rises, count 31. Exhale, the belly falls, count 31. Inhale, the belly rises, count 30. Exhale, and the belly falls, count 30. Continue to count in this way, backwards towards 0, with the breath and with the movement of the belly. If you lose count, no problem, return to 31 and start the count again. Follow each breath in, each breath out. Notice each movement of the belly with the breath. And the aim is to maintain unbroken awareness of the breath, of the movement of the belly with the breath, and of counting. Check in with yourself, see that there is an awareness of the breath, an awareness of counting, and an awareness of the movement of the belly. Now leave this practice, let go of the breath awareness practice. Become aware of the body lying on the floor, the whole body, the points of contact between the body and the floor, and awaken an experience of heaviness in the body. The whole body is really heavy, the legs heavy, arms heavy, the torso and head are heavy, making a really strong connection between the body and the earth, as if the body is made of lead or a stone, that connection getting stronger, even making a little indentation into your mat. Big, heavy body, heavy legs, arms, torso, head, the whole body as heavy as stone. And now leave the experience of heaviness and start to feel light. Feel the experience of lightness through the whole body. Draw on a past experience of lightness and weightlessness through the whole of the body. Legs are light, arms light, torso is light, the head is light, the whole body is so light as a feather. Even if there was a small draft that came into the room, it would just gently lift you and move you a little way across the floor. So light and weightless, the whole body light as air. And now let go of the sensation of lightness in the body. Let go of these sensations. Check that you are aware and awake. Practicing Yoga Nidra. Bring the attention to the space in front of the closed eyes. And here, imagine or visualize the scene as I describe it. Imagine or visualize you leave your house and close the front door. It is a bright, sunny day. There's no clouds in the sky, and the air feels warm. And you start to walk down a quiet lane, turn into a beautiful forest. The trees are tall and shrouded in leaves. The forest floor is covered in greenery, and the pathway is clear. You follow the path. Notice how sunlight is dancing through the leaves on the floor. And the air feels cooler in the shade of the trees. You find the clearing, and in the clearing is a small hut. The door of the hut is open, and you go inside. There's a table with a small candle on it. The candle is lit, and the flame is burning steadily. There's a large armchair. You sit down, comfortable in this large armchair, and gaze at the small, steady flame. And after a while, you close your eyes and you can see the image of the flame behind your closed eyes. Keeping your attention on that image of the steady flame, come back to the Sankalpa, repeating it again now 3 times with faith and feeling if you're using it, knowing that this resolve is already beginning to manifest. If it's new to you, then keep your attention on that image of the steady flame and be open to anything that comes to you during this time that you're most receptive. Now leave the Sankalpa, let go, bring the attention to the breath. Gentle rise and fall of the belly with the breath. The spontaneous movement of the body with the natural cycle of breath. And start to become aware of the room that you're in and your surroundings. Become aware of any activity that's going on around you. Hear the sound of my voice and begin to connect in to the body. Feel the body lying in Shavasana. Feel the form of the body, the shape of the body, the space that you're lying in. See the body from the outside, your clothes, covers. See the expression on your face. And know now that the practice of Yoga Nidra is complete. We'll begin to deepen the breath. Start to make any movements to the body to bring yourself out of the practice. Wriggling the fingers and toes, rolling out the wrists and the ankles. When you're ready, Carefully roll onto one side. Take a few moments here with the eyes closed. No rush. And as you're ready, keep the eyes closed to maintain the awareness inwards. Carefully make your way up to a comfortable seat with the hands in prayer in front of the heart. Lengthen the spine. Take a moment here to acknowledge your practice, the benefits of the practice. Draw the thumbs to the third eye, between the eyebrows, and bow your head to your heart to seal the practice. Namaste. Thank you.